Hello? Okay, it works. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sariba Shaket, a senator on student government, and it is my pleasure to welcome all of you today to the State of Student Address 2016 at UFM-Flint. This is a formal welcome to students, members of the faculty, staff, and community. Thank you for being here today, and your presence is very much appreciated. The purpose of State of Student Address is to primarily allow student government to present their projects, initiative, and ideas for the rest of the semester. This year, we have three important people who will be addressing us, seeing as they will be working hand in hand with student government. I would like to take a moment to introduce someone who takes his time to apply skills to several roles as a college administrator, a public speaker, and a researcher. I will ask that you please help me welcome our Director of Student Involvement, Leadership, and Student Government Advisor, Paul Artelli. Thank you, Paul. Am I allowed to call you Paul? Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Now I am honored to present someone I've had the privilege to work with, your student government president, Minutia Armagam. Thank you, President Armagam. I would like to ask everyone to please give a warm welcome to our chancellor, someone who is committed to student success, Chancellor Susan E. Borrego. Okay, as we're closing, I would like to thank our advisor, Paul Artelli, President Arumagam, Chancellor Borrego, and everyone for attending the State of Student Address. Please help yourself with some lunch, and again, thank you for coming.
Slow it down a little bit. Just a notch. Breathe.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Please be patient. We're just going to wait for people to walk in. So we'll start in like a few minutes. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Hi. I am Sariba Shaket, a senator on student government, and it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to State of Student Address 2016 at Michigan-Flint. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. Your presence is very much appreciated. This is a formal welcome to students, staff, members of the faculty, and community. The purpose of State of Student Address is to allow student government to present their ideas, initiatives for the rest of the semester. This year, we have three important people who will be addressing us, seeing as they will be working hand in hand with student government. I would like to take a moment to introduce someone who takes his time to apply skills to several roles as a college administrator, a public speaker, and a researcher. I will please ask everyone to help me and welcome our Director of Student Involvement and Leadership and Student Government Advisor, Paul Artelli.
So what's your definition of high performance? Can you think of someone who's a high performer? I'm getting to the point. I'll get to the point in Minutia. Don't worry. Minutia's already giving me like a weird look. What are their practices? As someone who came up through college athletics, performance was a topic that we talked both directly and indirectly every day. It was part of our lives. We were always thinking of the best way to do things or learning how other college football programs ran things and adapted to our needs. Other than being on the field, there was nothing better than me and the coaching staff sitting around a table just trying to design the best play, the best way to run a captain's council, just the best system possible. Over the years, I've become obsessed with this concept of high performance and high performance mentality, and when I was working on my doctorate, I'm still working on my doctorate, the one course I could never get into was high performance work systems because The School of Industrial Relations always kept saying to me, like, no, you're not one of us, you can't take it, you're an education guy, but I still bought the textbook. But to me, it's always been important to look at to ask the question, what do high-performing people and organizations do, and how do they think? There's a lot of indicators of high-performance mentality, but I think I want to focus in on the three that I believe apply to this year's student government. The first is a commitment to inclusion. This administration is inclusive of not only all cultures, races, creeds, religious and spiritual beliefs, orientations, abilities, etc., but to the viewpoints that go along with them. Over the past 3 months, I have seen this administration ask its membership and the students what they think more than I ever have before. They value the input they receive and are always looking to engage in dialogue with others. They want those different perspectives. A few weeks ago, when Minutia asked me to speak at this event, I asked her what she wanted me to focus on. Her reply was that she wanted me to touch on two things. The first was something along the lines of, I want you to tell people how the student government is doing and what your thoughts are. She could have easily said, tell them we're awesome, plug diversity, which starts on November 7th, and then give me the microphone. Instead, she wanted me to be authentically me and to be honest. This leads to the second high-performance mentality I see in this group. They're open to change. Over the past 3 months, this administration and I have sat together and reviewed countless policies, protocols, procedures, and a few, hey, we should put that in writing, or maybe we should edit that a little bit kind of moments. One of the biggest projects we're working on is rethinking how our funding board works and coming up with a new process and mechanisms that both allow more organizations to access funds and maximize the impact funded events have on our campus lives. We have wrestled with some tough questions on this and other issues, but through it all, I have seen a commitment towards positive change when necessary and if it is the right thing to do. This leads to the third high-performance mindset I see in this group. I said earlier that Minutia asked me to speak on two things, how I saw student government and this. Give the message to faculty and staff to engage with student government. High-performance mentality is almost always collaborative and almost always reaches out to those around them. The student government team here is not just the senators and directors who spends countless hours, well actually we can count those hours thanks to OrgSync, but the countless hours in meetings, but it's also, student government is also all of us here. The administration is truly collaborative and open to engagement with all aspects of the campus community. And by engaging, I'm not just talking about having student government sponsor an event or have them get the word out about an event that you might have, but I'm talking about a lot more than that. In all of our departments, we have problems or issues we need student input on. If that's the case, ask student government for their views and feedback, or to help to be a conduit to the solution. Come to a student government meeting, which takes place every Wednesday at 7 p.m., usually here in the Michigan rooms. And you'll see the good work that they're doing every day on campus. If there's a problem you feel needs their attention, then bring it to their attention. And if nothing else, get to know these awesome leaders on our campus. Engage them in conversation. See what they are interested in and how they can help make this campus a more awesomer place. And yes, that's a word. During last week's General Assembly meeting, I posed 3 questions to the student government membership in preparation for a training we're doing this week. Those questions were, how do you see your role? What issues are important to you? Or what issues are important to students? And how do you know that they're important to students? Those are the questions student government and all of us must examine frequently. To the student of government, my State of the Student report beyond these 3 mindset is this. There's still work to do. A lot of questions to answer, even more questions to ask, and large impacts to be made. Earlier in the semester, I asked our student government vice president, Antoine Colbert, what he wanted to accomplish, and he said to me, I want to make a big impact. I shared with him the advice I received when I first became president of my fraternity. Sometimes impact is something visible, like Scantrons and Blue Books, or bus routes that now expand and go into the community. But sometimes, and really most of the time, it's something not everyone sees. It's small changes that make significant differences in the organization and students' lives. Regardless of your role here, how will you impact student government this year? How will you engage with them? Who will you reach out to? I know this administration will make a big impact because it has the right attitude, because it welcomes diverse opinions, it seeks the best way of doing things, and craves collaborative partnerships. Those partnerships will start here. Those partnerships will lead to the impact, and that impact starts with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Now I am honored to present somebody that I have had the privilege to work with, your student government president, Minutia.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Senator Shukat, for the introduction, and thank you, Paul, for the wonderful speech. As I went around inviting students to attend the State of Student Address, a lot of students asked me, what is the State of Student Address? What is it for? I told them, one, you get free lunch, which we'll get to after the speeches, and number two, you get to meet student government, and you get to hear what we do for you. That being said, I would like to ask all my student government members to stand up and be recognized. Thank you for all your hard work and commitment to student government. Many of our members are not present here today due to conflicting class and work schedules. Students, these are your representatives, and we can't do what we're supposed to do without you. We need you and your suggestions. The purpose of student government is to listen to your concerns and work together with our campus administrators to think of solutions for that concerns. For example, 2 years ago, students expressed their concerns of needing disinfectant wipes in the computer labs. We spoke to the necessary departments, worked together, and now we have Clorox disinfectant wipes in the computer labs on campus. Another more recent example is students expressed that they need a printer in the USEN. The only nearest printer is in MSB and French Hall, or the library, and that's a little bit too far away. We spoke to ITS, we worked together, and now a new printer is being purchased and will be installed by the computers on the 3rd floor of the University Center. These are only two of the many examples that your student voice can make a change on our campus. And SG is here to help you make that change. We will sit in those long meetings for you and think of solutions to help enrich your student experience. Those long meetings are most of the time fruitful, thanks to our remarkable group of administrators, staff, and faculty. They have always been willing to work with us. Thank you for being open to ideas, for not being afraid of change, and for always putting the needs of our students first. Moving forward, student government is looking at continuing our legacy and striving to achieve more. We will continue to provide free welcome back t-shirts, blue books, and Scantrons. We will continue to support and advocate for the prevention and awareness of sexual assault on campus. We will continue to work alongside our student leaders to ensure that every student feels safe, welcomed, and valued on our campus. Together, we will engage in open dialogues and have discussions on how we can make our campus more inclusive for everyone. On that note, I encourage all of you to take the Campus Climate Survey to share your experience and suggestions on how we can enhance our campus climate. 20 to 30 minutes of your time can, one, put you in a drawing to get a $25 Amazon gift card, and two, this is your chance to be heard and make a difference on campus. The link to the climate survey is on the business cards on the tables around this room, and the survey is also pulled up on the laptops outside this room if you need to take it right now. Student government will continue to provide food at our Bring Your Own Books 88 Hours Library event. This year, we are looking into providing a relaxation space for students. While we all do our last-minute final studying, this relaxation space will provide a space for students to wind down or even take a power nap between study sessions. Student government will also continue to engage with our community by supporting events like Touch a Truck, Alternative Spring Break, and the Lula Hearst Thanksgiving food giveaway. Last week, the Senate passed a resolution for a new position on our executive board. This position has historically been on student government, but this time we're modifying the description of the position. This new position is known as the Director of Foreign Outreach. This person will serve as a liaison between our student government and other student governments of different institutions and the Flint community. As we take pride on our campus being the forefront of change in the Flint community, students can contribute to the civic engagement initiatives in many ways. Students, if any of you are interested in taking on this position, please pick up an application packet right outside. Apart from that, student government will continue funding student organization events and conferences. As Paul touched on earlier, we're working on a task force that will improve our funding process and to support an even wider range of student groups on campus. This by no means is a definite list of what we are and what we could be working on. We are always open to ideas and suggestions. To my student government members, we have 187 days left in our term. It is not going to be a bed of roses, but it will be an adventure. We'll have our ups and downs, we'll have our agreements and disagreements, but what makes us strong is being able to put aside the differences, sit around a table, and think about how our choices will make an impact in the student body. Go out, talk, and listen to the concerns our students have. And then let's think of solutions of how we can address these issues and concerns. You don't have to do this alone. We are all in this together. We have our dedicated advisor, Paul Artelli, and our passionate Dean of Students, Dr. Julie Snyder, who have both been a great resource and provided solid guidance for student government. Thank you for your wisdom, and thank you for being patient with us. As I look around the room, I can see past SG members. Many of them still reply to my midnight rants when I need ideas and advice. Thank you for lifting student government to where it is today, and thank you for your continuous support. To my Vice President, Antoine Colbert, who is in class right now, thank you for being by my side every day and calling me out when I need a reality check. Students, faculty, staff, and administrators, we ask that you stand with us and support us in achieving our goals and initiatives. Visit us at our office at 364 USEN, follow us on social media, come to our meetings on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., usually in the Michigan rooms. If you can't physically be there, we live stream our meetings as well. Come and see us and let us know how we can make a difference on campus. I urge you to join us in continuing this momentum of maize and blue excellence of our student body. Thank you, and forever go blue.
Thank you, President Arumugam. Now, I would like everyone to give a warm welcome to our Chancellor, someone who's committed to student success, Chancellor Borrego.
I'm going to start by calling Minutia back up here for a second. Her mom and dad are watching in India, and she forgot to say hello to them. So I want to tell you, Mom and Dad, she's doing a great job. Thank you for lending her to us, and here she is to say hi.
Hi.
Oh, when she told me they were watching, I was like, you have to say hi to them. So it's a pleasure to be here today. And I want to start by thanking the members of student government for their ongoing work on behalf of the campus. I did see two former student government presidents slip in through the back, and I've had the real privilege in the time that I've been here to work with a strong student government entity, and it makes everybody's job, I think, simpler. Student government plays such a critical role in advocating on behalf of student priorities and influencing campus policy in service of students' experience here. Whenever people ask what student government does, and I know Minutia opened with that, I think about the countless things that student government does that go unseen, that are what you might say are small changes. You might say it was a small change to have a computer, to have a printer on the third floor, but it's not small to somebody who's printing at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I also think that student government, at least in my time here, really impacts policy. What they bring to our attention, we may not know or have identified as an issue. So I've always appreciated that. And the student government entities at the University of Michigan-Flint have also had a deep commitment to issues of justice. And I've seen them in my time here standing with other campus communities, standing with local communities to pursue more inclusive and just environments. And I am very proud of them for that. We live and contribute here in Flint. Consider this. We are about 10,000 in a community of less than 100,000, with a $70 million fiscal impact in Genesee County alone. And our involvement and the involvement of our students in Flint is immeasurable. There are formal ways that we can talk about. The School of Management this year helped 700 local people gain $500,000 in tax returns. The School of Ed and Human Services is expanding ECDC through a partnership with Flint Schools and a bunch of other people, and it will allow more than 200 Flint children to enter through kindergarten. The College of Arts and Sciences brings a community together with students and educators, Family Math Night, Astro Night, Curiosity Academy to teach STEM to 6th through 8th grade girls, and mapping of lead and pipelines, and a whole bunch of other things. The School of Health and Professional Studies is establishing a doctorate in occupational therapy, which is groundbreaking as the first such program in the state. And last week, the University of Michigan Board of Regents approved the creation of the University of Michigan-Flint's School of Nursing, which has long been a point of pride for our campus. And at the center of all of this is you. All of those things are the formal ways in which we demonstrate our commitments in Flint. But it would be a really different environment if it weren't for the hundreds of students who are out in the community, working on this campus. This year, we're celebrating 60 years. And it is going to be a very important time as we enter into strategic planning in a few weeks that students engage in this process to talk to us about what are the kinds of quality of life issues that you want to see addressed? What are the kinds of things that enhance your academic experience? And so many times, whether you're working through student government, working through clubs and orgs, those are really critical voices to be heard. And I want to encourage you, when you see those things, to make sure you get involved. In the same way that Minutia talked about the climate survey. A number of you have talked to me individually. I know you've talked to other people individually, but really taking time to give us your perspective formally so we can fold that in to the planning that the university does is really important. I'd like to say one more time thank you to the students for your involvement. Thank you for being willing to both risk and work with me. We disagree on some things and agree on others, but I believe in my time here, student government has gotten a great deal done on behalf and for students. So thank you, and go blue.
Thank you, Chancellor. Okay, as we're closing, I would like to thank Paul Artelli for guiding us, President Arumagam for leading us, and Chancellor Borrego for always supporting us. Please help yourself to some lunch, and thank you for coming. Go Blue.